Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video, and today we're going to be doing another episode of the Master Series, the new series where I'm going to be individually focusing on each and every character within the game, talking about what makes them good, what their strengths are, and why people use specific characters for specific reasons. And today's episode is going to be about the one and only Zangief.
Now you look like Bison Troopers.
Now obviously Zangief is one of the units that has been in the game since the start. A lot of people recognise him as being a really solid tank within the game, and a lot of people think he is also very good as an assist unit within the game. Now, what people who actually use this guy to his full potential will tell you is this man has a lot more to him than simply being a meat shield. Now don't get me wrong, when it comes to being a meat shield, Zangief will absolutely excel at that for you. I mean, if we take a look at his passive, you can see that he reduces flame, thunder or soul damage taken by 20% upon entering the battle, which lasts the full battle. Gives you damage reduction 35%, 50% damage reduction at level 2, and when he's present, all allies receive 25% flame, thunder and soul damage reduction. That's essentially half of the factions available within the game. That's huge. If you play him in the right setups, he will certainly give you the edge and allow you to survive longer. So, as a meat shield, he will absolutely do that for you, but that is not all this man is about. This right here in his cars is what makes Zangief amazing, godly, fantastic. It makes him a Bison killer.
General Bison, he's a bad guy.
And so much more. 6 out of 6 cars. Banishing, flat, nullifies the target's passive for 8 seconds. Important to remember that. So that's this skill here. That is his C2 skill. When this C2 skill strikes a target, it will nullify that target's passive effects. Okay, so that means units like Bison, who revive off their passive, units like Sagat, units like Goken, who have passive skills that allow them to survive for longer. If you have set up your squad so that Zangief is hitting them with his C2 before your DPSs land the fatal blow, it nullifies the effects of their passives, meaning that we have actually had one of the best ways to deal with Bison and other units since day one. Now, one of the most common things that people will ask you, are they a Bison killer? People are always looking for that new unit that can deal with Bison, when we have always had a unit that can deal with Bison since day one of cars being added to the game. Now, this does not solely extend to characters like Bison and Goken and Sagat. He can also be key to surviving in new events, new boss battles. This means not only is he going to do things for you in PvP modes, he's going to do things for you all around the game, because the thing that is absolutely key is when he is nullifying these passives, it means that not only are you able to kill the likes of Bison, when you're in events and you've got things like the event we had with Akuma. If you guys remember, during that event, every time you hit Akuma a certain number of times, what would happen would be you would be basically hit, I think automatically, with his passive. It was after landing X number of strikes, you would be hit by Akuma. This would no longer apply because you have nullified that passive status. Okay, now This is something that you will find useful throughout the entirety of your journey with the game. It's not just going to be about these specific units. If you're struggling, this man can come into your team and he, again, can do things like help you survive. He can do things like stop this revival. He can even function quite well on a support role if you're struggling, right? Now, at times that will be useful, but what I would say is now with the game's shift to having so many multi-team battles, you're more often than not going to find a slot where you can put this guy onto your team, because most of these boss battles have these new gimmicks involved, and if anything is not a move, you will be able to see it. When you look at characters, what their attacks are, generally, if it's on their face, okay, that tends to be a passive skill, whereas if it's on a picture of a move, it tends to be an actual skill. So being able to disable their passive all the time is absolutely phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal to you to be able to push more and more content within the game. Now I'm just showing some PvP battles, okay, because the thing is, you will see here I'm constantly going up against teams that have got Bison, and that's deliberate, okay, and it's basically to show you that Bison isn't a problem because Zangief does have the skills to pay the bills.
You got paid?
He isn't going to be an expensive character that you have to think to yourself, wait a minute, I need to get the latest and greatest, I need to go and get the new special summon unit. If I don't have the new special summon unit, I'm not going to be able to progress. No, we have units within the game that are absolutely going to take it to the next level, and Bison isn't a problem. Sagat isn't a problem. These units are not going to cause you problems if you use Zangief in the correct way within your setups. Top unit, when it comes to talking about who's a good support and stuff, it doesn't really apply to this unit. When we're talking about supports, they more apply to units that are maybe going to be like DPS units and stuff like that. Sure, you could put some other tanky supports on them to keep them alive for longer, but I genuinely think your usage of supports in this case would actually be better served elsewhere. You would be better using your 2 support slots on someone else to give them a boost to attack or something like that, rather than worrying about doing something to keep him alive, because he's going to keep himself alive. He's going to keep the rest of your team alive. For me, people who know, but there's a lot of people that don't know just how good Zangief can be and how vital he is for you when you're building these multi-team setups, when you're going up against these boss battles that now require 3 and 4 and most likely eventually 5 teams. This is a man you want to have his cars, you want to have him kitted out. He will look after you, he will help you perform. Zangief will take you far. He is a great unit and one I fully recommend you building if you can.
That was beautiful.
Anyway, episode 2, I wanted to focus on a tank. Episode 3, I'll probably do a wind unit because we've done flame, we've done thunder, next will be wind. Then we'll start looking at maybe episode 5, 6, we'll look at some Inferno master units. But I don't want to lead too quickly with them. Try and do as many free to play as possible first, then we'll move on from there. So we've done a DPS, we've done a shield. Naturally, to me, next up it would be a good idea to maybe cover a support unit, but we'll see. Anyway guys, I've been Hayzink, thank you for watching, and next time, I'll see you. Peace.